Hi guys, welcome to Snake Nook. I'm Vanny and with me I have little Rocky. He is my inland carpet python. You haven't met him yet, so you are officially meeting him for the first time. He is my yearling male carpet python, and he's just beautiful. He's an inland, so he is Morelius Belota McCaffey. And he's just gorgeous. I love this little guy. I don't know if the camera picks up on his beautiful colors, but he is an amazing shade of bluish gray. Absolutely one of my favorite carpets of all time has to be the inland. And I thought that he would be an excellent candidate for today's video to help me as a little co-host. He has always been so sweet-natured and so easy to handle. He's perfect. He is one of the most handleable snakes I own. The topic of today's video is 3 benefits of conditioning your snake to handling while we catch up with Stellar. What has Stellar been up to? So recently I put out a series where I show you how I conditioned Stellar to handling. He was really quite unhandleable when I first got him, and then as I worked with him over the weeks, he is now quite handleable. Not 100% like Rocky. We're not there yet, but he's doing so much better. I really like the progress that I'm seeing from Stellar, and I'm happy to update you guys on how he's doing and take you through 3 benefits of conditioning your snake to handling. Stay tuned. I had this box for, it was for an electric skillet, so I went ahead and got my skillet out and realized that the box is kind of sturdy. So I decided to use it to give to one of the snakes. And so the snake that ended up getting this box, just as an addition to her enclosure for some enrichment, is Sandstorm. This is Sandstorm's enclosure, guys, so she has plenty of hiding spaces. She has her very own bed tray from IKEA that yesterday, as a matter of fact, last night she was hanging out in this little area right under the box, but on her bed tray. And I noticed that she needs a bit of an enclosure cleaning, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I noticed that she is kind of comfy in her little corner and she's kind of just looking. So I do need to take her out and do this cleaning because I have something else I need to do and I won't get a chance to clean her enclosure later on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. One of the benefits, guys, the first benefit I'm gonna talk about regarding conditioning your snake to handling is that you are able to, if needed, reach in your animal's enclosure without the animal striking at you. And Sandstorm is certainly conditioned to handling. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up her enclosure, but this is certainly benefit number 1 for me, is that I am able to reach into her enclosure as needed when needed. Of course, I'm cautious when it is evening time and it is also time for a feeding, guys. I have to be careful. I do take into account their body language. I'm gonna study the body language before I move in there. Anyway, guys, so here she is. She is doing really well. I'm gonna go ahead and let her hang out on my shoulders. She might want to climb on my hair bun, but that is certainly reason number 1 as a benefit for conditioning to handling, is that I do need to clean that up and I can't wait till later on. So I've got to do it now. And even though it's in the middle of the afternoon and she was resting and relaxing, I went ahead and took her out, no problem. Guys, I thought I'd show you what she's up to while I'm cleaning. Look at her. She's just peeking her little head from around my head. She's hanging out on my hair bun. I don't know if you can see that, but she is hanging out back there while I clean her enclosure. Let me go ahead and finish. I just thought I'd show you what she's up to. I'll see you guys in a bit so we can go check up on Stellar. So here we are, finally with Stellar. my spotted python. He is a yearling male, and guys, I know it's taking me a minute to get to Stellar, but I really wanted to make the first point with Sandstorm because I had to clean her enclosure as well. So just to kind of put a bit of a disclaimer out there, guys, when I'm talking about my own experience with conditioning to handling, I just want to let you all know that the species that I have are like Antaresia maculosa, I have boa imperators, royal pythons, I have carpet pythons, and I also have experience with colubrids like rat snakes. So I just wanted to put, a little bit with king snakes. I wanted to put that out there. I do not have experience handling giant snake breeds, and I am not talking about handling venomous snakes, not at all. Benefit number 2 for conditioning your snake to handling has to do with making time for your snake even though you have a busy schedule. Most people do not work from home. Well, some people do, but most people don't. And if you work from home, I suppose you may have more time available, or you are at home to supervise your snakes that maybe you want to let out to roam for a while, or you can just open the enclosure door and wait for them to come out whenever they're ready. So if you work from home, you're lucky that way. But if you have to leave your house to go to work, it's a full day of work, and then you come home in the evening, you still want to take your snake or snakes out every now and then, guys. You can't just leave them in their enclosure forevermore. So then you want to make sure that you can take your snake out when you need to take your snake out for an outing. And you may think that your snakes do not want an outing, but in reality they do. And you're probably going to be asleep at night if you work a day job and you work a full day. So your only time really that you may have to spend with your snake, it's really those evening hours. So just take your snake out, let your snake stretch out, let your snake take in new sights and smells. Giving your snake the routine of coming out of its enclosure every other evening is such a good thing for your snake. Your snake will look forward to it even. They get used to the routine. So if you're thinking, well, I really don't want to stress out my snake, I don't want to overhandle it. I mean, guys, really, unless you're handling it 24/7, you're not overhandling it if you're taking it out every other day for an outing. And what I particularly like about conditioning my snakes to handling is that when they are fully conditioned to handling, there is nothing between me and my snake. It is just me and the snake. No tools needed. No tools needed to coax a snake out of the enclosure. And if you're worried about stressing out your snake because you are reaching in there and taking a hold of your snake so they can have an outing when you have time, that's just the way it is for people with busy schedules, guys. It's better that your snake gets an outing, even if it's, it looks like, oh, I'm going to stress out my snake for a little bit when I'm getting him out. Then they don't, because, well, I don't want to stress out my snake. And then your snake just sits there over a week without an outing. So just take your snake out. It may just momentarily go through a bit of a struggle or something. But once your snake is out, and you do this often, it's a routine, your snake will not be stressed out the entire time. They relax and they have fun. Look at Stellar. Stellar is even coming up to me. He's coming close to me. At first he looked a little bit like, I don't want to go anywhere, and he was kind of like coiled, like looking at me like, I'm not going anywhere. But now look at him, he's all over the place, he's everywhere, but he is being conditioned to handling. And so I'm able to just reach in there, take hold of him, and give him his little outing, and he's a happy camper. And then the third benefit of conditioning your snake to handling, I'm going to keep this one really brief. It's just so that you can have a pleasant experience interacting with your snake. You do not want to be in constant fear of your snake's reaction when you are holding it. You do not want to be in constant fear that your snake may strike. So unfortunately, sometimes when you are conditioning your snake to handling, you may have to go through a little nip, a little bite, or something like that. But then the snakes are not in the habit of doing that all the time when they are conditioned to handling. Really and truly, bites are very rare when you condition your snakes to handling. I have not received 101 bites because I have conditioned all of my snakes to handling. And really and truly, guys, I have received just a few bites overall from just a few different snakes. I really truly am not worried about conditioning a snake to handling and then thinking, well, at any moment the snake can turn around and bite me, because that's just not the way it is. Once you condition them to handling, they get a whole lot better, and you can have pleasant interactions with your snake. You can handle your snake without fear, and your snake can hang out with you without fear and stress, and then it's just a much more pleasant experience for you and your snake. So there you go, guys. 3 benefits of conditioning your snake to handling. So you want to be able to reach into your snake's enclosure. Just keep an eye on that body language. You want to be able to take hold of your snake and do enclosure maintenance or anything else that you may need to do. And if you are a busy person with a busy schedule and you do not work from home, you definitely want to condition your snake to handling, so that in case you come home in the evening and you want to take your snake out for a little while, it's not a big deal. Your snake is not always going to be stressed out. Your snake is used to the routine. Oh, in the evening, my handler, my owner takes me out for a little while. Your snake becomes used to that, and your snake will not be as stressed out. And then you'll have time to spend with your snake. And lastly, the interaction will be pleasant for both you and your snake. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope that this video has been helpful if you are working on conditioning your snake to handling, or you are thinking about it. And here we are saying goodbye to Stellar. Thank you, Stellar. Thank you for being awesome. I have certainly enjoyed conditioning little Stellar to handling. Thank you so much for staying with us, guys, especially if you're here all the way to the end of the video. We certainly appreciate it. I hope that this video has been helpful. If you are working on conditioning your snake to handling, or you have a snake that you're thinking about conditioning to handling, you know, you've got to conquer your fears sometimes in order to have a great relationship with your snake, and it's worth it, guys. So I hope this video has been helpful. Thank you all so much for being here. Y'all have a good one. Bye.